Okay, I'm gonna freeze dry. I've been in the garden. I pulled some stuff out. This is rosemary, and this one is basil here. I've already wrapped it up and prepared it to put it in the freezer. Pre-freeze it before doing the freeze dryer over there. And so all I've got to do on the rosemary, I cleaned it, I cut it, is to kind of wrap it up. Kind of protect it from freeze dry. The freezer burn. So just kind of wrap it up. But yeah, you have to pre-freeze the food. You don't have to. It depends on what it is. And then once you freeze it, it just depends on what it is. This is going to be spices. So, okay. So now I've got those ready. I'm going to put them in the freezer and let them pre-freeze. And then I'll get some of the other stuff ready. This next one I've got is going to be kale. I'm going to freeze dry it, and then so I'm just going to freeze dry it like this, right with the whole leaf. And so now that's ready. I just got to wrap it and put it in the freezer. And so I might as well do that. Okay, now that's ready. Put it in the freezer. So what's the next one I'm going to do? How about some hot peppers? Jalapenos. I forget what these called, but they're like a sweet hot pepper. So I'll clean those up and chop them up and get those ready, and I'll be back to you. So I did my peppers here, the hot peppers, and then I had some room left, and this is a zucchini. I thought I'd just go ahead and throw it in and freeze dry it also, because that can go in a bag and be a snack for walking on a trail or something, or just going somewhere. And so freeze drying is good for making snacks, like being on trips. My son-in-law and his family went on a trip, Arizona, and oh, that's good. So there it is. Freeze it, and then pre-freeze it, and then I will get back with you when it's frozen, and put it in the freeze dryer and go from there and tell you about what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, because I messed up my video, I'm gonna just talk about it. So I've got it set on there. It's once I press continue, it's gonna start the freezing process. There it goes to freezing. It'll go to about 10 or so, depending on what the sensors say, below 0. And then it will start the vacuum pump, which is there. And then it'll so what I've done is I've took everything from the freezer and I put it in there, and it's already started the process. And so I've weighed everything there before putting it in there. And so, like for instance, I'll go through that later, but it's going to be about 24 hours to longer tomorrow, and I'll come back, we'll get it out, we'll do the testing, the pre-testing for the, okay, let me think. I'll do the weight there, and then I'll look and see, okay, how much water has left. And so then I'll put it back in for 2 more hours, and then after 2 hours I'll get it out, I'll weigh it again, and then if any of the figures change, that means I have to dry longer, because all the water's not out of it. It's very important to get as much water out of when you're freeze drying as it can. So if you do everything right, it can be 25 years. It depends on why you're doing it, and like if you're doing it for trail walking or travel or to make snacks. But if you're doing prep food for years, then that's the way you can do it. So I do a little of both and all. I do candy for the grandkids. They really like the candy. It's freeze dried. But that's where we're at right now. So I'll come back tomorrow and let you see a process of what we'll do tomorrow, checking the drying of the water. Okay, see you later. Just want to let you know there's the stuff inside. It's been going for about 5 hours and 43 minutes. It'll be sometime tomorrow when I open it up. I mean, when I check the drying. So, just want to let you see it. It's only been 5 hours. Okay, it's time to do the dry check. So, I'll show you on my paper. So, what I've done, I did the weights before I put it in, and then that includes the pan and the silicone between that, so stuff doesn't stick. And so then, if you take the silicone and the pan together, their weight is here at the bottom, and then you subtract that from the total weight, and say for basil, the first one you get 3.1. So we're just going to concentrate on the first one right now. So then I come down here and I do dry check. And so I do a weight. I put it in for 2 more hours. And then when I get it out, if anything changes, if it gets more water out, that means I need to put it back in and dry it a little longer. So you want it basically as close to absolute dry before you bag it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I've got to release the pressure slowly, because you don't want the moisture to come back into the compression tank or vacuum tank. That's what it's called. And you can hear it, air going out. So now I can open it, take out the first one, which was the basil leaves, if they don't fall out. And they are dry. But we don't know if they're dry enough. So I'm going to do a weight. This is what they look like as they're drying. And so what I get is 21. It can change real rapidly because moisture in the air can be getting into what you've got. But it says right now 21.3. 21.3. Okay, and put it back in. Next one is rosemary. And so, yeah, there it is. It says 20.6. 20.6. And right now they're hot because that's how it dries it with the vacuum. This is the hot peppers. Looks pretty close to what they did when I put them in. That's what freeze drying is all about. Keeping all the vitamins in it, the nutrition, and just taking the water out. 21.5. So this is your kale, very light, and so there's what it looks like. Whoops, it's going to slide off my thing. $20.8. Now stuff like I had said before, this is the zucchini. So I'm just going to bag that in a small bag, and that'll be a snack. So, and just eat it like it is, unless it's something that needs to be cooked, then you got to add the water back. But as a snack, going out somewhere, you want to take a healthy snack, that's the way to do it. Put it back in there. Close that. Shut the valve. Push more dry. Continue. You'll hear the vacuum pump come on. It's going to take it up to over 2,500 MT. I'm not quite sure what MT mean. I used to know, but it's been a year since I looked in the book. I'll look that up and see what. I don't know if it's pounds of pressure. It's some sort of pressure that the tank goes down to when the vacuum pump comes on, but it's 2,500 MT. So now what I'll do here is I'll take 21.0. I'm going to go ahead and just do that for the first one. 21.0, which is the silicone, and the pan's weight. So I'll subtract that from the total weight. It's going to be very light. The basil was just leaves. So 3. So if I was going to add water back to it right now, of course this is not done here, but the pan weight, I mean the food weight is 0.3 after you take the pan silicone off. And so 0.3, that is that like a drop of water? So anyway, what might be good to do with the kale is to grind it up into smaller pieces or into a powder, and then you could just take the powder or sprinkle over your food. Chances are you may not even taste it in the food, but that's one good way you could use it. You could now when it comes to powder, I've heard that the powder can collect moisture quicker than the regular, say like carrot. But anyway, that's how you do that. And so we're going to wait 2 hours. We're going to get it out, and then we're going to test it again, weigh it, and if it doesn't change, or if it does change, that means it's still got water in it, so we have to. Okay, it's been a couple hours. For you, it's been like seconds. If you see me all sweaty, it's because I was outside, and it's like 95 to almost 100 degrees outside. Well, anyway, I had to come in and do this to show you, to finish up this video. So this is a dry check. I've already did one check. This is the second one. And I gotta erase that because I don't need to. So, oops, open the valve slowly. So when you get to the dry check, you just check it until you see no water coming out, and then it's ready to bag. And if you're doing it just for yourself, then you don't have to worry about plastic gloves for food stuff. See, that's really nice and dry there. Whoops. And so, but I'm not doing it to sell. I can do it for like friends, but I'm not going to do it to sell. 21.3, 21.3, 0.3. 20.6. 20.6. One point five, or 21.6. Last one. Point 8. Okay. Okay, so that part is done for now. So get this out of the way. Yesterday when I was cutting up these hot peppers, I forgot about it. And I just rinsed my hands off. I didn't wash them real well. And I touched my eye and it was burning. So, yeah, you would think by now I would know not to do that. So, since they're ready to go, now if I was doing this to sell or something, like this is what it would look like if I was going to sell. They're light as a feather. Maybe not quite, but light. So you could do this with candy or whatever it is, and that's what it would look like with a tag on it. It'd have the date and everything, and nutritional value, everything you're supposed to have when it's government, as far as food service. And then you put your oxygen absorber in there. And see, if I wouldn't even do that if I'm going to take this as a snack and it's only going to be today. That's the only way I would bag it. I probably wouldn't do it with a window because that's only so you can see it, and I don't need to see it. I just write on it what it is. So the next thing, hot peppers. And instead of paying for labels, I just write right on it. Like today, July 16th, 2026, what it is, hot peppers, and then I would put things like how much water came out, so that's how much water you put back in. And so whether it's hot or cold, depending on whether it's hot food or cold food, and that's about all I would do. You got 25 years to worry about it. That's the good thing about it. And so they make these like this one here. And when I ordered them, I wasn't careful when I ordered my last Mylar bags. But they'll actually stand up. They got a bottom like that, and these doesn't. Yeah, I mean, Costco's, when they have something on sale like chicken, you just go buy a bunch of it, you know, and normally it's probably $3 or $4 per chicken, but then when it's been out or been there all day, whatever's left, they're going to either throw it away, so they give you a discount, and you just go up, buy, if it's like the one guy I watch for freeze drying, he'll go buy 20 chickens, and then he'll take and pull all the meat off the bones, and then after he does that, he'll pre-freeze it, and then freeze dry it. And then in smaller portions, like servings, like this bag could have either 2 servings or 3 servings or however many servings you want in it. But you just put that on there to let you know how many servings. Now I gotta get this out of the way. Excuse me. Put it on my sink. So I'll put peppers in there for now. Okay, rosemary. So I've got a little thing of rosemary here in this jar. That's rosemary. What did they do? The company that did this, they freeze dry it, and then they crunch it up or leave it somewhat whole and put it in a jar and sell it to you. So I can do the same thing for a lot less money. That was probably, I don't know, $7. I don't know what it costs, but save a lot of money when you freeze dry stuff. Right, basil, kale. I'm missing one. I think I'm missing one. Hot peppers. Those are the ones I've done. Okay. I'll have to do that after. So I'll put it right here. I'm missing some bags. Kale. Okay, here's the kale. So with this kale, I might make powder out of it to sprinkle over food, or just stick it in there and crunch it down. Oops. When it's this dry, it's so easy to break. So what I can do here is do just this. Okay. Cycling last. I don't know what happened to that one. I must have dropped it somewhere. Put this on my sink. These are called Mylar bags. Keeps the sunshine out. Keeps it kind of in the dark. Then you put in an oxygen absorber, which I won't show you that today. Oxygen absorbers. I'll tell you about those another time, but they come in different sizes for whatever, whether it's a pint, half pint, a gallon, or quarts. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to throw these leaves in here. Basil. So, this is my opinion. Usually, what do you do with a, I think it's bay leaves or basil, or are they not? I'm not sure. But with the basil, I can do that, and then whatever I'm cooking, if I want some basil in it, I can just sprinkle it in. Or if I want to make it a powder, I just put it in the grinder. A mixer, whatever. Boy, can I smell the scent. Because it's becoming more concentrated. Like my way of grinding it up. So the thing is, if I want to season something with basil, I've got basil. Once you open the bag, then you either have to put an oxygen absorber back in it, because if you don't, then the oxygen will get to it and it will start to age a lot faster. Okay. Let's stick the note rosemary in here. This is something I grew in my garden, rosemary. So I can just stick it in these bags, and whenever I want a certain spice, as long as I write on it and so I know what's in the bag. So the oxygen absorbers, they come in like 50, these are 100 cc oxygen absorber, and so they go as low as I think 50, and so for a quart you might put 3 of these hundreds in. I'll go over that another time, but you have to put in 1, 2, whatever it requires for the size you're doing, and then once you do that, and then zip block it, then you go over here to this, and then you see that? So I've sealed the top. I don't know if you can see it. Now this is sealed, but I really shouldn't have sealed it because I didn't put an oxygen absorber in it. Oh well, I'll cut this, and these bags probably are not something you should waste. So anyway, I'll put it in a different bag with this oxygen absorber. Freeze drying, if you want to prep, you want to make snacks for a trail, whatever. Give me a like if you like it, and all that stuff. See you next video. Bye.